and welcome to another video with me, Tilly, on my channel, Simple Living Suffolk, where I talk about books and other stuff. I don't know how to make my intros less awkward, so there we go. Apologies for the gym attire. So today's Wednesday, the 27th, the day this video is coming out, so I'm filming, editing and uploading in the same day because I've been busy. And just before this I was getting dressed, but I needed to try on. I got a delivery of new gym clothes, and so I tried them on, and then I was like, well, I may as well keep them on because I've got spin later. Is spin at 6:10 and it is currently 9:15 in the morning. Yes, I'm a gym girl today apparently, plus a cardigan because I got cold. So apologise for the boobage. This shelf's not very good looking, is it? I'm in a slightly different spot today than my last couple of videos. Back to the original one. I think maybe I'm going to organise this so you don't have to see the pile of crap. It's not very nice. I don't know why I'm whispering, she probably can't hear me because I haven't got a mic. It's not very nice. Anyway, welcome to a November wrap up and my December TBR. I did a November mid-month check-in, so there's not much to talk about, but I'll talk about them a bit. I've mentioned it's the 27th of November currently, so we're not actually at the end of November, but I ain't gonna read much more. I'm not gonna finish any books before the end of this month because I'm hanging out with my girls, my two girlfriends today, and then and I've got to spin this evening, and then tomorrow I'm at work all day, and then it's girls' night, my evening with my daughter tomorrow evening, and then on Friday I'm going to London with my boyfriend to a gig, and Saturday then I've got to pick my daughter up and we're going to a farmer's market, so I'm not going to have time to finish a book. Oh, I think I mentioned last time I needed to trim my fringe. Well, I've done it, so I hope you like it. Anyway, that was my long story for why I'm not going to read any more books this month, so I can do this wrap up 3 days early. So I will insert my Storygraph stats here probably at some point, which will tell you that this month in November I have read 6 books. I read 1,976 pages, which means my books averaged 329 pages per book, and it took me an average of 9 days to finish a book. The moods were generally tense and dark, and the genres were generally literary and thriller. I read 1 non-fiction and 5 fiction books. So the books I've already told you about, which I will not be talking about again because just go back and watch the last video, was the non-fiction book I read was Akala's book Natives, Race and Class in the Ruins of Empire. Sorry if I'm looking down, it's because my notes are down there. And I rated that 4.5 stars and loved it. It was great. I audiobooked the majority of it. I got it from the library originally and then I audiobooked it. The next book, which I've already talked about, is The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I rated 4 stars. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, which I rated 2.5 stars. And Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth, which I rated 5 stars. So my last video, my video before last, my November mid-month catch-up, talks about all of those. So I've read 2 other books that I haven't talked to you about yet, so we'll talk to you about them now. Oh look, I brought The Secret History down to show you, but I didn't hold it up, so that's not very helpful, is it? I'm not going to put a picture of every single book I just mentioned. They were in the last video. So, The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore. The second in the Dream Harbour series. It's a silly little romance, cosy, giving Gilmore Girls. So I read this as a bit of a palette cleanser after a couple of books that I either DNF'd or did not really enjoy that much, so I needed to get back on the reading hype. I rate this 5 stars, loved it. It's 367 pages and it follows a bookseller, someone who works in the local bookshop, obviously, and it's a friends to lovers trope, which is great, very spicy. I did think from the name it would be set in autumn, but it's actually largely set in the summer, which is a bit of a shame, but the main character is like an autumn girly, so it was still good. I really enjoyed that, but I do like to read kind of seasonally. I've never read seasonally before, but I've decided I like to read seasonally now, so, but that was good. The next book I read was, insert image here, The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. So if any of you will remember maybe one of my previous videos, that was one of my library books and I was trying to decide whether to read it or return it because I wasn't sure if I'd be into it. Well, I read it and I loved it. I'm really glad I did. It was 454 pages and I rated it 4.5 stars. It is historical fiction, loosely based on true events of like the Dutch and Duchess of Ferrara in the 1500s. But it kind of goes back and forth in time. So from the start of like when they first met to their current day of the marriage, and it goes back and forth until it meets in the middle. It was really good, like tense, but also really like well descriptive and a bit of a twist at the end. I really enjoyed it. It was great. Also this month, I haven't finished, but I did start my Discord buddy read book. So I met some girls on a Discord chat set up by a local influencer, Chloe Plumstead. She set up this Discord group and then some of us started chatting on there about books we like and we started doing buddy reads probably 1.5 years, 2 years ago. I haven't always done them. I did quite a few to begin with and I didn't do a few for a while. And I'm trying to get back into them and doing them on time. Because, so for example, The Marriage Portrait was a buddy read they did, but that was like years ago, like a year ago. So I was too late to the party to like join in the conversation on that. But this one is that we're doing currently is called The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I think I've mentioned it already. I'm 9% in, which is 79 pages. And it is, oh, here they, I brought it down. So we've got it set up to finish it by the end of the year. So I've tabbed up where I need to be for each part. So by the 30th of November, so the end of this week, I need to be at page 235. So I've got about 160 pages to read in the next few days, which I reckon I can do. Yeah, there's a bit of a, so like some sections are longer, some sections are shorter. It's very, very The Secret History vibe. I'm really enjoying this so far. Like, I'm so into it. At the moment, it's like kind of the backstory of the main character and it's talking about like some horrible event that happened when he was a teenager, about 13. So I am finding it really good, but really difficult because I've got a teenager about the same age. So just imagining that being her life is horrible. But yes, that's that. Really enjoying it. Then I realise I haven't actually told you there's another book that I'm reading now. It's my car book. It's called Remainders of the Day by Shaun Bythell. I feel like I've got the other book here, but I can't see it. Anyway, it's probably in my non-fiction actually, isn't it? So it's the third in the Diary of the Bookseller series. I've read one of them. I haven't read the first one apparently, so I don't know how I managed to get into a weird routine with it. But it's basically Shaun owns a bookshop in Wigtown in Scotland and does like daily diaries of what it's like running the bookshop, just a day in the life. And it's really fun, really easy read, and because it's in like diary functions, which are like a page each, diary entry, sorry, they're a page each, it's a great book to keep in the car. So when I do the school run, I'm a little bit early, or I go to an appointment a little bit early, I can just read a couple of pages and put it back. So I started it in January and I'm like 42% of the way in, really enjoying it. The fact that I'm reading it so slowly in the car is not a testament to whether I'm enjoying the book, it's just useful to have a book in the car. And that's my November wrap up for you. So, shall we move on to my December TBR? I could do this in a second video really, because I have been yapping for 10 minutes, but there's not much to say for December TBR, so I'll tell you anyway. I've decided I'm going to try and go quite gentle with myself in December, because I have a meeting with my dissertation supervisor on the 18th of December to discuss whether my ethics application has been approved, the next steps for my dissertation, and also I was hoping to have written my literature review chapter, which is like 3,000 words. Have I done that? No. I'm partway through researching, but I need to do a lot more research, which is why I probably can't read too many books, because I need to read academic articles. So I've decided I'm going to aim for 4 books in December. If I read more, great, but uni's got to come first, because come January I'm going to be back in classes and I won't have time to do the literature review. So the first book is, I'm going to finish The Goldfinch, so that's due by the end of December, so I'll finish that. The second book I'm going to read is Sentient Claws, insert image here, by Holly Wilde. It's another one of Holly Wilde's short story eroticas, and this is for book club on the 4th of December. We decided, because it's Christmas, on the 4th of December we're all going out for Christmas book club dinner, so a 3-course meal at a local vegan pub, and we're reading The Sentient Claws because it's just going to be hilarious. It's only 82 pages. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to read it. I'll probably read it on the day, because the day we're going is on a Wednesday, and I don't work Mondays or Wednesdays, so I'll probably read it on the Wednesday. That's going to be a really easy read. The next book I'm going to read is The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore, which is the 3rd book in the Dream Harbour series. Basically I'm going to read it because it's seasonal, I think. And so this is about Kira, who has just bought the Christmas tree farm in Dream Harbour, and excuse me, and I think it's going to be like a romance, but she hates Christmas or whatever, but it's going to be, I think, she hate Christmas, or yeah, no, Kira North hates Christmas. So she was very briefly introduced in the last book as having just moved to town, so I'm interested in reading this, and it's going to be short, it's going to be snappy, and it's just going to be really enjoyable. So I just know already I'm going to enjoy it. So that's that one. And the other book I've picked for December is Jenny Colgan's book Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop. So this is one, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, for my birthday last year, for my 31st, my friend took me on a book dash to Waterstones, where I could go around, and I had like 5 minutes to show my partner all of the books that I wanted, and then he had like 2 minutes to go and pick up as many as he could carry. And this is one of the books I got from there. So I got it last November, and I haven't read it yet, but again, it's seasonal. So I'm going to read this because it's a Christmas bookshop, and it seems just like a silly little rom-com romance, like maybe a little bit of fantasy, I'm not sure. I don't know if it is fantasy, but it says in the blurb, Carmen discovers wonders to the bookshop she could have never imagined and opens a labyrinth of bookish back rooms for the customers to get lost in. Is that like fantasy, or has she found a secret back room? I don't know, but I love books about books, as I've mentioned before, so I'm gonna read that. Obviously I bought like 3 other books about Christmas in my haul, which is my last video. They're probably gonna have to wait till next Christmas now. I might read them this year. It depends. So that is my November wrap up and December TBR. Shall I stack them? Oh, I shouldn't have left this one for last. Thank you very much if you got this far through. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. I'm now going to manically edit this, and I've got lots of screenshots to add in if I can remember how. And then I'm going to have some breakfast, and then my girls are coming and they're going to paint my nails because I'm in my girly pop era. And then if it stops raining, we're gonna go get a lovely coffee and a cake, because we said whoever won a bake off would get a coffee and cake bought for them. And although I didn't watch Bake Off last night, apparently I won. So I'm getting coffee and cake bought for me. Have a lovely evening by the time you see this, or day, or whenever you see this. Bye. Sorry if you can hear my bin man.